Hello everyone! Today I'm making a stunning field of cosmos flowers using techniques you know and love, but I don't have access to everything I might want. So we are going to have to get really creative. This piece is on sale on my website now. Go to abcreativeofficial.com to check it out. Hello everyone, this is AB Creative. If you're wondering what is that, this is my mobile studio. This is another episode away from home. Yes, unfortunately I don't have my table, I don't have 99% of my equipment. Fortunately, I brought with me some paints in a little box, and I did bring a couple of canvases. So this is the canvas for today. I was so glad because I managed to find Floetrol in one of the local shops, so I've got some Floetrol. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to mix some paints, and because I am surrounded by some lovely flowers, that's my inspiration for today. I'm visiting my family, and one of the flowers I remember most from my childhood is Cosmos. In a local shop, I bought those containers. They were all together, but I thought there's no use for me shaking them all together, so I cut them, I separated them, and I will mix the paints in here. They've got some lids, which is very useful. I think I'm going to use 5 colors in the background. I want a pastel background, I want the flowers to be seen and the greenery to be seen, so very faint colors. Therefore, I added titanium white first, and I'll be adding Floetrol. As you can see, I added water. It's very different to what I usually use. Very different. I'm not sure how this is going to behave. Did I say this is a 30 by 30 canvas? I don't have my usual containers to put it on. Glasses. Putting it up because I'm going to use the hairdryer, and now I know you will miss my hair. I am missing my hairdryer, my crazy hairdryer. But I found 2 different ones here without any proper nozzles, so I'm not sure how this is going to work. There was still some blue on the stick, so blues somewhere here, a little bit of this yellow. I'm hoping it will not turn into green. Putting a bit of pink in between. Yellow and pink will look good together, that's for sure. I need to leave a tiny bit if I need some more. Okay, now the moment of truth. We'll see how the hairdryer behaves. That's it. I'm going to use it on the lowest setting. That does not move anything. Okay, it can't be the lowest. No. What? Okay, doesn't do anything. Wow, I can't believe it. I seriously can't believe it. How annoying is that? Come on. What? Well, at least we got some action here with this one, even though it doesn't blend the colors like it used to. It's interesting. I do like the cells. Look at these. Okay, I might have to swipe it myself. Well, I love my own hairdryer. Definitely. I think that's it. These are the flowers I was talking about. As you can see, we've got the perfect colors. I'll try and create variations of the same hues, darker and lighter, and perhaps white as well. It's just spreading the colors on my silicone mat. This is a silicone mat because lots of you were asking me where do I do my little swipes. That's it, and there are links in the video descriptions if you're interested. As you can see, those petals are quite interesting. They've got like a little crown at the end. I didn't even realize when I looked at them that they've got this pointy bit. I'll just try to create it if possible. I cut some strips of paper towel, just the regular paper towel. They do tend to have 8 petals. Well, let's just try those 4. That's a bit too much water. We want a damp towel, but not a soaking wet. Okay, and I'll just spread it. I will be cutting them out. You know, I can cut out the pointy bit. They're not perfect at the moment, but that's okay. Also, as you can see, the silicone mat seems to repel some of the paint. Or you can just shape them, you know, using any other tool, even like this. We can even reconsider. Maybe that would be easier, just shaping them like this. If it's one color, but I'll swipe them if I want more than one color in a petal. I think 2 of the same color is enough. Now I added a bit more pink. Don't worry if they don't look like flowers now. I'm only doing the petals, you know, I'll put them together in a proper way. I'm adding some color here. I don't have multicolored ones in my garden. Well, most of them are just pink and deep pink and white. I don't think I wanted stripes. And what else? I want something very, very dark and a white one. That's what I want, and I think that'll be the end of it. So this is going to be my darkest one. Look at this color. That's probably more than enough. I don't think I'll use all of them, but it's better to have more than not enough. So let's just leave them to dry. The petals are completely dry. They will actually dry the very next morning once I finished. But this is the stage that you could embellish the petals. And I think it's easier to do it now than on the painting, but it's absolutely up to you. I'm sure I'll be doing both. I'm just using a tiny bit of pink. And I know that some of them, they have this very, very deep pink end. So I can add it now, before I cut them out. I'm not going to do it to all of them, just 1 or 2 flowers maybe. Once I add the very, very yellow, bright yellow mid part, I'm sure that will look really nice. Let's try a bit of purple and rose maybe, just to make it slightly different. Each petal will also have some stripes, little embellishment, which I could do once I glue everything on, but we could do it here. And again, if I don't like it, well, I'll wipe it off. See how easy it is to remove some of them? That actually gives a nice, I think, more natural look. Okay, one done. Peeling off time. I always look for the end that's the easiest to peel, or the thickest. Let me just put them aside. So I'll just start peeling. Very satisfying. I'll put some music on or listen to a podcast, and I'll have them done in no time. Again, one quick move. Oh, look, this one left a pink mark. Okay, I got to this stage and now I've been thinking I need to adapt it. I need to change something. I don't know about you, some of you just pour over or dispose of the canvas. I don't think I've ever done it. I just think how to improve what I have and see if I'll be happy. I also never continue if I am not satisfied at some point. And I was imagining those flowers actually in a darker background. I do like this sky, I do like this part. However, when I put the flowers here, something doesn't sit with me. I'm going to make the bottom part, the meadow, the garden, darker. I could pour on half of it. However, I was looking around and I found a sponge, just a regular old sponge. And as you can see, I just ripped it. I've got this. Could make it bigger, but this will serve my purpose. Why am I doing it? Because I don't have a big enough brush. Darker greens, that's what I'm going to be using. These are the greens I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using Prussian green and pale green that you must be very familiar with because I always laugh at this color. How pale is that? Raw sienna and burnt umber. It's going to be a shocker now. Whoa, so dark. I didn't put any water, so this is basically dry paint. Well, I'll just continue and then I'll add different shades as well. Did I mention that I'm trying to recreate my grandma's garden, my childhood memories? She had so many of those beautiful flowers, among others, and I just remind me of her. Background is dry now. I added a very, very thin mist of white just to unify it further, but it's not necessary. Actually, I like using acrylic paint as my glue because the background is acrylic, the flowers are acrylic, so it's going to bind really nicely. Where did I want it? Somewhere here. Perfect. Another one. They might be slightly overlapping, that's fine. I do like this one, so I want it in the center. I also like this one. This is the time where you can trim the leaves. If you want your flower at a different angle, you can trim the leaves, but at the moment, I quite like this one as it is. I quickly position the petals where I think I want them, and now I'll start gluing the rest. I'm trying to make this one at an angle, so I trimmed a couple of petals. So much fun putting those pieces of puzzle together. I want this one at an angle as well, like that, so it's going to look thinner. Now I've got just those little leftover petals, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut tiny sections like little buns or little circles even. I'm going to glue them in between. They are going to be our buds. I wish I had smaller scissors. These scissors are gigantic, but I can't find a smaller pair. And of course you can't fly with scissors. I miss so many of my items. A few more, those little ones, and I will trim the white ones as well. I brought some stems to show you how bright those leaves and stems are. Oh, now you can see. These are the strangest leaves. I want to press them down. So now imagine that color here. So that was the plan, to mute the background so we can actually see those plants. All right, with the stems, I might actually use a brush just to quickly touch the stems. I don't think I'll press the whole thing down. Same colors again, the pale green, rose sienna, but this time I think I'm going to use some lemon yellow and white as well. Remember, we want it to stand out against this background. Looking at the stem and checking, I am going to use a bit of water. It's going to be easier to maneuver if the paint is not too thick. Let's go with this one first. You have to be pretty quick with those stems, otherwise they won't look natural. I want to add green to those buds because they are characteristic. They do have some spiky bits coming off them, and that's what I'm trying to imitate. So a little bit of green here. One like this. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay. Some of the bigger ones, if they are seen underneath, they will also have a bit of this leftover green stuff, those little whiskers, but only the ones that we can see underneath. If you have unsteady hand, it's perfect, because these stems are, in nature, they are so wonky. The last thing, just a couple of those green ones, just green, nothing else. I mean, you could always add color if you prefer them to be all colorful, the buds. I think the green ones are fine as well. Wouldn't you agree that adding some detail actually makes a huge difference? Even a little bit of highlight or shadow. Time for the very exciting part, the printing of the leaves. So I've got my leaves ready. I've got the same paint I use for the stems. And to be honest, at this point, I just want to tell you how little you need to create some artwork. Because I took with me just the little box of paints that I showed you. I brought 5 brushes and I purchased some Floetrol here, and that's it. So you don't have to have plenty of media to be able to create. You can just start with very little. I am going to print some of the leaves first darker, and then I will add the lighter values because the lighter leaves will be closer to us. Okay, so let's try this. Doing it on a silicone mat, a bit of a paper napkin somewhere here. And as I said before, I might get the petals dirty, so one thing I prepared, I've got a baby wipe just to make sure that I clean every area I don't want to be covered with those leaves. Yay, awesome. It's a nice leaf, so I might reuse it. I'll just keep using it till it breaks. And you can see how easy it is to get a nice effect. But I do want some of them faint. And I'll just keep adding a couple more with the same one. Now I mixed green and sienna and titanium white. A couple big ones here. And I'll add a few smaller ones with the same lighter paint. You can print the whole plant. That's what I'm doing now, to add some variety. And my garden becomes more and more dense. Lots of leaves. I think it's time to add the midsections, the pollen. I've got mid yellow and lemon yellow. I think I would start with mid yellow, like this. And well, that will be the first layer. And then I'm going to add some more. I'll build up a thicker layer. I want it more 3D. I'll wait for the first part, for the first layer to dry. Otherwise I'll be just taking it off. But it's looking good even like this. And I think that's the correct color. Not mixing it with anything, because I'm taking quite a lot of yellow. Leaves those little protruding pollen sections. And I'll continue with all the rest of the flowers. I hope you like them so far. I'm actually pretty happy. I think we came pretty close to the Cosmos garden that I was imagining in my head. I added a couple more, those yellow insides, just sort of indicating that some of the flowers already are withering. So we've got some buds, we've got some blossoms, and now we've got a couple that have lost their petals already. The very, very final thing I can do is just, I can add a bit of some shadows under the petals just to make it more 3D. And I'll call it finished. Well, there we are. This piece really fills me with the joy and happiness of my childhood, so it's actually pretty personal. And I don't always go for such fun, vibrant colors, so this was pretty exciting. And don't forget, this piece is on sale now on my website, and I have a new video every Saturday, so subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!